Hi, Chris Krashisnik with eXp Realty. I'm the owner of the Krashisnik Group. I am a licensed realtor in Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and DC, and I love to help people buy and sell homes. The next step in our home buying process is you've actually found a home that you want to put an offer in on. So the steps we've taken before, got you pre-approved. We talked about agency. We defined your property search. We even looked at property. Now we've seen a property that you like and gets you excited, okay? We're gonna talk about that for, I don't know, however long it takes. Usually, I can tell within a few moments of bringing a buyer in a home if they like the home. You see bigger eyes, you see better body language, you see some oohs and ahs, and usually it tips you off if this buyer is interested. Not everybody's like that. So what you as a buyer should do is you should directly communicate to your realtor that, yeah, this one's a keeper and I'm interested. From that point, the realtor has some legwork to do, and it's kind of time sensitive. Otherwise, we might end up with multiple offers or we might lose out on the property. So make sure your realtor's on the ball. Usually I do these things within, like, immediately after showing the property or within 24 hours of showing the property, okay? I would recommend that your realtor or that you contact your lender directly and send your lender the specific property so they can get you an estimated cash to close and monthly payment, not based upon the interest rate and the generic terms that they used when they took your application, but based upon today's interest rates and the property taxes and HOA information and the price of the current property that you're on. That's going to give you a fairly accurate idea of what your monthly payment and your cash to close are going to be. Okay, so usually you do that like on the way home from looking at the house, and your lender can get that back to you within 24 hours or a few hours most of the time. The second thing the realtor is going to do is they're going to do their legwork. A realtor's legwork is, number one, figure out what the seller's motivations are and when we can get an offer presented. And number two, determine the value or get an idea of the value of the property so you're not getting ripped off, okay? The first one you probably do is you reach out to the listing agent, and this is oftentimes the second phone call you make on the way home, and you ask the listing agent, are there multiple offers? When does the seller need to settle? Do they need a home of choice contingency? Do they need a rent back? Is there any other specific information that would help our offer or tip us off to what the seller needs to say yes to this contract? That's all good information that we need to convey to you, okay? And when we're conveying that information to you, we're going to convey it to you with the idea that we're still protecting your interests, but we're making an offer that is as attractive to the seller as we can make it, because we need the seller to say yes to this offer, okay? Now, once we get done with that and we get that information to you, you're going to put on your hat and you're going to protect your buyer's interests a little bit by pulling up the comparable sales. Realtor speak, it's CMA, or comparable market analysis, but we're going to basically pull up the last 6 months of sales of similar properties in that neighborhood or geographic location, and we're going to help confirm or define the value for the property. We're going to make sure that the list price is reasonable and not grossly overpriced or underpriced, and that will tip us off in two ways. That'll let us know if there's an upcoming appraisal issue, and that will also let us know if we get in multiple offer scenarios, and if we've got to go over asking price, what our reasonable limit to expect would be before we get an appraisal issue, and we can game plan through all of that stuff before we make an offer and not under such pressure when they counter to us and we have to make a decision quickly. It's good to get all this information and discussion and communication out of the way before we submit the offer, so we know the ins and outs and we feel more comfortable and we have a better meeting of the minds on it all, okay? So to recap, your realtor is going to want to get the lender to provide you with accurate cash to close and monthly payment. Your realtor is going to want to help you define the actual value of the property based upon the last 6 months of sales. And finally, your realtor is going to want to get information from the listing agent to see if there are competing offers, if the seller's timeline lines up with yours, and if there's any extenuating circumstances that you need to know about before you make that offer. Doing all of that should help us and put us in a decent position to get your offer accepted, which is ultimately the goal, okay? I hope you found this video useful. Please hit subscribe. Follow my video, interact. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.